Joining us now is Max Richmond of the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare. I'm so sorry, Social Security, to preserve Social Security and Medicare. Max, a lot of questions for you. I don't know if you heard the last debate that we just had with the congressman from Texas, but he says Social Security has plenty of money. Social Security is fine. Everybody's going to get their payments. It's not a big deal. What do you say to that?
Well, he's correct that Social Security has plenty of money, but if he's that sure that everybody's going to get their check on time and a full check, he is in a distinct minority in Washington. Most of us are not sure. We hope that Social Security will be taken out of this equation, but as it stands right now, I don't think very many people can be as confident as the congressman from Texas. I do hope that if he cares as much as he seems to about Social Security, he would not support cutting Social Security benefits. He would not support privatizing Social Security. He would not support cutting the cost of living adjustment. He would not support raising the age for eligibility. These are very important to seniors. We think that the National Committee to Preserve Social Security, it's a long title, you're right about that. We think that Social Security shouldn't even be part of this debate. Social Security is not the problem. Social Security has not added a penny to the deficit.
Right.
And even the president has said so.
We
so why in
that.
Why in the world is Social Security even being dragged into this debate?
You talked about how, and it's even in your title, you know, that we don't want to change Social Security. My question is, we've seen the average lifespan increase by about 10 years from 1950 until most recently. We've seen no major increase in the Social Security age since 1983, and the early retirement of age 62, that was implemented in the early 60s and hasn't been increased. We've seen countries all over and private institutions increase their age of retirement. Why are you stuck on the fact that we can't do that?
Well, I'm not stuck on that, and I never said we're not the National Committee never to change Social Security. We're the National Committee to preserve Social Security and Medicare.
Do you think that would be a good idea to increase the Social Security age?
My point today on your program is this discussion about Social Security should not be held hostage to this debate on our debt, because Social Security, whatever the issues, long-range issues are of Social Security, and let's be clear, they're long range.
Well, the issue, okay, actually, Max, let me tell you what the issue is. Hold on, Max, let me tell you what the issue is. And Rick Foster's the actuary at Medicare, in particular, said when it comes to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, these programs will run out of money. So we can't afford to complete the promises we made, unfortunately, to seniors. That's the real issue here, Max. As sad as it is to say.
That's $7 trillion underfunded over the long term.
The Social Security actuaries issue a report every spring. Last spring, they issued their annual report. Social Security is sound, is able to pay everybody, according to the trustees, not Max Richmond, is able to pay everybody every penny they're entitled to until the year 2036. After that, there's a shortfall of about 22%. Yes, these things need to be addressed, but in the heat of this debate, where you just talked about what happened at the White House, we're going to drag in a complicated issue that it has to be dealt with sometime in the next 25 years. Yes, rather sooner than later, but not today, not by August 2nd. That is a huge mistake.
Unfortunately, well, I tell you what, Max, look, it's brought it to the forefront. We're talking to people like you on this program, so it has brought it to the national to the national discussion finally, and maybe that's what needed to happen, as rough as it's going to be. Max Richmond, National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare. I'm going to get your title right. Max, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you
Great
very
to have
much.
you here, sir.